Hi, have you ever wondered why you should be using AI tools like ChatGPT instead of sticking with something you know really well already, like Google? What is the big difference anyway? If you're 55 and over, like most of us here, I will break it all down to you in plain English with real life examples. So you will always know which tool to use and trust for your task at hand. Ready? Let's go. Hi, and welcome to Smart Tech for Any Age. Our mission here is to teach and demystify AI tools like ChatGPT for our age group. How to use it to make your life easier, better, and more enjoyable. Today, we're going to answer a question that many of you have asked. Should I use ChatGPT or Google? And when? And why does it matter? Now, if you're over 50 like me, you probably grew up with Google being the answer for everything, the go-to. And now suddenly, bam, there's this tool called ChatGPT that can give full answers, writes for you, and even plan trips. It's powerful, but yet confusing. This matters because knowing when to use each tool can save you time, frustration, and even money. I'm going to show you real life examples that pertains to you so you don't waste time Googling something that ChatGPT can answer for you in moments. Or worse, asking ChatGPT something that it cannot answer for you. Stick around, and I promise this will change the way you search, learn, and get things done every single day. Oh, and one more thing. Everything that we'll be talking about today, I have made for you into a free downloadable PDF file. You can grab it with the first link in the description below. So you do not have to worry about taking notes. Ready? Let's get started. Okay. First, let's start with the biggest difference between Google and ChatGPT. Google gives you a list of websites, while ChatGPT gives you direct, actual answers. Let me explain. Google is a search engine. It has knowledge of the billions of websites on the internet. And when you put something into Google or answer the question, it's going to give you a list, about 10 or a dozen, of links or websites that you click onto. And then you dive in to see if it pertains to you. ChatGPT, on the other hand, knows what you're talking about. You're talking to it one-on-one, and it gives you actual answers that pertains to you. Let me show you an example. Let's say you're planning a trip to Rome in October, and that sounds amazing. And you're curious, what is the weather? If you put that information into Google and you ask it, what's the weather like in Rome in October? You get a series of websites, from weather sites, travel blogs, maybe websites from the tourism board. And yes, you can dive in and click on each one and get the information you need. Or not. There'll be a lot of scrolling, there's a lot of reading, and you'll perhaps have to backtrack, go to the next link to find what you need. And that's a lot of work for one simple question. Now, if we try to do the same thing in ChatGPT, let's see what happens. Now, we're looking at ChatGPT, and you type in, what's the weather like in Rome in October? And let's see what happens. Very quickly, you get direct answers like this. Fall in Rome, October is mild and pleasant, and it gets a little wetter as autumn progresses, and it gives you temperature ranges, rainfall, humidity, sunlight, even a packing list. It's all laid out in front of you. No guessing, no scrolling. One paragraph, all the answers you need. You don't have to dig, You don't have to guess which website is trustworthy. You just get the answers that you need. The second main difference between Google and ChatGPT is that with Google, you get generic information. ChatGPT, you get personalized help. ChatGPT gives you answers that's tailored just for you. While with Google, everyone sees the same information. Additionally, ChatGPT has memory and context. That means it remembers what you just said and builds on that conversation. While Google treats every question you ask it like the first time you ask. Let's go through some examples. Let's say you want to create a weekly meal plan for 2 seniors with a focus on healthy eating and with a budget of $75. If you put that into Google, you're going to get a lot of websites that you have to dig through that might not give you the information that you need. Most of it is nice, but it's very generalized, and everyone sees the same things. Let's try the same question in ChatGPT. We're going to type in, create a weekly meal plan for 2 seniors, the exact same question, and let's see what we get. In just moments, it gave you a very detailed plan of what you asked for it. Here's the budget with meals, and it gave you some nutritional facts of what it thinks healthy eating is about, and here's your complete meal plan for the week, with prices and a grocery list. Now, remember what I was saying about how it remembers what we talked about? Let's say you're a vegetarian and all you got to do is want to convert this list into a vegetarian list. All you got to say is make it veggie and let it do its thing. And it comes back with a full list of exactly the same list we saw. However, this time it is all tailored for your vegetarian needs. If you try to do that in Google and say something like make it veggie, it does not remember the context of your previous conversation, and it'll give you something that's not going to make much sense to you. The third way that Google differs from ChatGPT is that ChatGPT gives you step-by-step help, while Google is more like a DIY do-it-yourself navigation. ChatGPT is like a guide that walks next to you and takes your hand every step of the way, while Google is like someone that hands you a map and says good luck. Let's try this example. Let's say we have some pain in our knees and we want to draft a letter to our doctor. If we put into Google, help me write a letter to my doctor about knee pains, you'll get a bunch of websites that you got to go through, some forum, maybe some sample letters that you will still have to tweak and do a lot of work to get a letter done. On the other hand, if we put in the same requests into ChatGPT, help me write a letter to my doctor about knee pain, in just seconds, we have a clear and professional letter template that we can use to communicate with your physician. And we can customize it with your details. But let's see what the letter looks like. There's a subject line about knee pain, a request for evaluation. Dear doctor, I hope this message finds you well, writing you to inform about recurrent issues with your knee. And it kind of goes through and you put in duration of how long you've been feeling discomfort, what the discomfort is, and you generally go through and customize it for your needs. Really nice, straight to the point, and professional. Now, the best part is, let's say you forgot something and you want to tell it that using Advil but has not been helping. All you're going to do is say to ChatGPT, using Advil but not helping. Redraft letter. It remembers what we talked about the letter about me paying to your doctor, but it's going to add in a little blurb about Advil not really helping out. So here's the letter once again, and let's take a look at whether, let's see here. I've tried managing it with Advil, but hasn't made much of a difference. Now you see how simple it is to write a really nice, easy letter. All you do now is customize it and send it away to your doctor. This one, I feel it is so important that it warrants a second example. Let's say we have a new iPhone 15 and we want to set up the voicemail with Verizon and we don't know how. Let's say we put into Google, how do I set up voicemail on my iPhone 15 with Verizon? And we can get websites to Verizon and we can click on it and we have to read through all these instructions how to do it. And there might be some YouTube videos. We still have to spend a lot of time doing that. But to get a quick, easy step-by-step answer, let's try what happens when we use ChatGPT. How do I set up voicemail on my iPhone 15 with Verizon? And here's the no fluff, direct, step-by-step instructions how to do that. It's going to list it out with all the steps. All you're going to do now is bring up your phone. I like this. And follow along. Oh, it even gives you, hey, what happens if there's an error? And it gives you steps to move forward with that. This is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and possibly some money too. Difference number 4. ChatGPT is trained on past data, while Google has direct, real-time information. Now, so far, we've been talking about a lot of advantages of ChatGPT, but there are instances like this one that Google is a better choice for you. ChatGPT is trained on past data. It's great for retrieving knowledge of the world, planning, writing, organizing, but it is not ideal for real-time data. If you need today's flight status, stock prices, breaking news, or your local restaurant's opening and closing hours, that is the time to use Google. On the other hand, if you want to create a monthly budget, write a poem, plan a trip, get cooking and recipe ideas, then ChatGPT is your best friend. Both tools are useful. Both tools has their place. You just gotta know when to use which one. And a final big difference between ChatGPT and Google is this. Google is an ad-supported platform. When you put in a search for Google, you get websites, sure, but a lot of that are sponsored ads and links, which means an advertiser somewhere paid to have their website shown to you for whatever you search for. Now that could be good or not so good. Well, ChatGPT does not have that. Let me show what I mean. We go to Google and we put in best new smartphone this year. We're going to get a lot of results from tech sites. And as we scroll down, we're going to see different ads, different brands. Now, these are all advertisements from companies, Amazon and Target, that puts their ads here. A lot of these can be helpful, but sometimes we don't know exactly which one is trustworthy or which one is sponsored ad just trying to sell something. On the other hand, if we go into ChatGPT and we type in the smartphone this year, it's clean, mostly white space, and no advertisements. And just going to give you what it thinks you're asking for. So in this case, it's talking about the Samsung Galaxy, and there are other top choices to go for. I personally think that is a huge advantage of having unsponsored, unfiltered results using ChatGPT. Okay, by now you should have a solid understanding of the differences between ChatGPT versus Google. Let's recap the 5 main ones. 1. Google, being a search engine, gives you a list of websites, while ChatGPT gives you straight, direct answers. 2. Google provides you with generic info. ChatGPT gives you personalized help. Number 3. Google gives you DIY or do-it-yourself navigation, while ChatGPT gives you personalized help. Number 4. ChatGPT does not have any advertisements. It is a no-ads platform, while Google can be heavy on the sponsored ads, and it can add to the confusion of what is trustworthy. And number 5, ChatGPT is trained on past data and knowledge, while Google has current real-time information. So if you're looking for information such as restaurant hours, sports scores, or airplane flights, Google might be your best bet. If you want a list of the information that we talked about today, I created for you a free downloadable PDF file that you can grab with the first link down below. Grab it, print it out, stick it by your computer so you always know which tool to use and when. If you find this video helpful, please click the subscribe button and the like button. It will motivate me and help grow this little tiny channel. I really appreciate you. If you know a friend that can make use of this content, please click the share button and send it to them. If you're new to ChatGPT or AI in general, please check out these videos right here on introduction and step-by-step setup. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye!